Ever since the BJP has come into power and bought a copyright on nationalism, people keep saying I'm proud of my country and force others to say it without realizing that there is honestly not much to be proud of. I mean, speaking for myself, I would jump on the first opportunity to get the fuck out of this country, even if that meant handling a 7-Eleven in the US. There are plenty of reasons not to be proud of the country we live in today, and that's what this video is about. This is a video series dedicated to bringing forth whatever is wrong with India. The videos will cover the fuck-ups of the government month by month, beginning with the month of July. Now, July can be stated to be the month of claims. China claimed Ladakh, Pakistan claimed Kashmir, Nepal claimed Bihar, and out of fucking nowhere, Ramdev claimed to have cured Corona. But that still seems less ridiculous in comparison to the UP government's claim that Vikas Dubey died in an encounter. Yeah, in an encounter as fake as Kylie Jenner's boobs. I mean, if you're going to hide murder and manslaughter of a criminal, at least put some fucking effort into it. The UP government has put more effort into hiding the crimes of Vikas Dubey and protecting him through the years than they did in this encounter seeming real. Dubeji literally Faisal Khan, the BJP minister, in the police station and emptied an entire magazine into the body of Santosh Shukla, with 2 dozen cops as witnesses as well. But the case was let go due to lack of evidence. Seriously? Lack of evidence? I'm surprised that the in-power BJP government didn't deny the murder taking place at all. Regardless, nobody is dumb enough to believe this lousy plot that UP police has put together. How is this not four of you dumbfuck police officers rolling over a car just for the sake of the photo? Furthermore, he even got shot in front in his chest. Was he running backwards while facing you and saying goodbye? Or were you guys too casual about this murder seeming genuine? Obviously, the latter is true. Since like most gangsters of this nation, Dubeji was also undeniably tied to a lot of government heads. So they had him killed rather than reveal his links. Speaking of the government trying to forcefully silence civilians, congratulations to the BJP government for forcing Kashmir into silence for a year now. It's been a year since the abrogation of Article 370 and the application of President's rule in Kashmir. The result of that has been Kashmir pretty much transforming into a state under dictatorial rule, not even allowed access to the internet, spending a lot of the days under curfew, and living under the constant threat of the army. Now, while some libtards might be against the abrogation of 370, they don't realize that it is actually a masterstroke by a prime minister who predicted the coronavirus and put his favorite state of Kashmir in a lockdown a year before to protect the people. Truly a visionary. I mean, yes, countless human rights violations have occurred. The economy and political structures of Kashmir has been fucked in the process, but it is still a masterstroke, right? Right? Jokes aside, I cannot help but realize how ironic it is when Modi stands argue with Congress supporters and talk about the emergency years while simultaneously taking a lot of pride in the abrogation of 370, which has had way worse effects on people. Not only is press freedom a forgotten concept and the army has been given a clean sheet even for crimes against women, but the political body has been shattered so badly that there is literally only one Kashmiri in the decision-making board. Furthermore, detaining political leaders and journalists has become the new normal like in the emergency. The BJP is detaining people and political leaders left, right and center. Wait, actually just the left. For example, Omar Abdullah was forcefully detained and the only option provided to him to get out was to sign a document forcing him not to partake in any political proceedings further on. Preventive detention, killing press freedom and human rights violations through the use of force. That's as Indra as it gets. However, that is still not the end of Kashmir's problems. Pakistan has claimed Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh along with parts of Gujarat as well, the humble home of a humble prime minister. Similarly, Nepal has claimed parts of Bihar and Uttarakhand. And can I just ask for 1 second, what the fuck is up with countries changing their maps before invading? Is that a strategy to mess with our psyche? Pakistan and Nepal, learn something from China and invade before you make these changes. I get it that there is a strong possibility that Modi might ignore you like he ignores his wife and not acknowledge the occurrence of the event at all. But hey, you still have a chance unlike his wife. Also, Mr. Modi, how can you launch a nationwide Chaukidar movement and then be surprised when Nepalis begin to claim your nation, including the most disputed land in the history of the nation, Ayodhya? Regardless, Don't worry. Civilians like us need not worry about these trivial occurrences, especially regarding the tensions with China, because as usual, Modi has solved everything with a masterstroke. China really thought that they could kung fu their way into our country and we would sit around doing yoga. Boy oh boy, could they have ever prepared for an unforeseen attack of denying the invasion, banning 57 apps, and then retreating from our own land? We really showed those dog eating fucks their place. And by that, I don't mean China, I mean Nagaland. In yet another misdirected, unnecessary outrage of the public, Nagaland was forced to ban dog meat. Because for some reason in this nation, the government's solution to all issues is a ban. Everywhere other than dealing with the coronavirus, at least. Since public gatherings, when suitable to their propaganda, are not only given a thumbs up by the government, but are also participated in by them. After Ranjan Gogoi delivered a biased verdict in exchange for personal political advancements, the government has been pretty quick to begin with the proceedings of Ram Mandir. The news is eating that shit up as if it's the construction of a new Taj Mahal. Relax, guys. Let the blueprint be passed first. Now, the Bhumi Puja for the construction of Ram Mandir happened on August 5th of this month. Surprisingly, even during the times of Corona. Well, of course, the government had to, since religious propaganda is the only election issue that they have to their advantage. But not surprisingly, a puja in favor of the most communalized issue in the history of this nation was not only broadcasted on live television, but was also attended by the Prime Minister of a supposed secular nation. Yet, everyone was losing their shit to get invited, even the Congress for some reason. But I guess who wouldn't want part of such heavy propaganda? It's fair to say that the Bhumi Puja was like a Comic Con for Sanghis, quite literally. However, this Comic Con decided not to invite Stanley himself. Come on, guys. LK Advani is the one who crafted this entire political campaign. He's the one who saw the potential of riots in the matter and made it into a nationwide electoral issue. The least you can do to thank the man directly responsible for your power is to invite him to the damn puja. But I guess not. But regardless of the innumerable infringement of constitutional norms, that too even during the time of a worldwide pandemic, this event has caused as little outrage as you would expect from Indians. If only it were a Muslim event with Muslim leaders and followers breaking all the guidelines of coronavirus lockdowns, would you expect Bhakts to raise their voice? But on second thought though, all Sanghi supporters and followers in one place at the risk of community transmission of a deadly disease that could kill them all? That could actually be a blessing in disguise. If nothing else, it proves one thing at least, that the coronavirus isn't going to be over anytime soon. What else can you expect from an incompetent government whose game plan is to bang utensils and celebrate a pre-Diwali to deal with the virus? All that Modi is doing is walking on Trump's footsteps by taking one bad decision after next. However, even Trump has the sense to hold a press conference. Our PM is so fucking spineless that he hasn't held a single press conference even during the times of a pandemic and is keeping people in the dark. Holy fuck, man. Someone tell this guy to grow a pair and attend one unscripted interaction with the public. People are concerned about the virus. Nobody is going to talk about your 1,000 other fuck-ups. Shockingly, India's test per million is so less, yet the number of cases are so high. But I have no hopes from this government. The Prime Minister has a toxic habit of denying responsibility and distracting people with other propaganda, and the media follows through on his wishes and only discusses whatever he wants them to. Just like how when the welcoming puja of Rafale jets happened as if a new car had been bought in a middle class home, that made everyone forget about the massive scam that was involved in the first place. Or even how the horrible and exploitative Environmental Act was provided a while back, which gained little to no traction at all from the news outlets. To further distract the people from this policy, they rolled out a new education policy while directly bypassing the government on this one. To be fair, the NEP is a welcoming change. However, there are a lot of details that need to be worked upon. For one, the controversial and impractical change of medium of teaching that supposes the conditions of the schools across the nation has a lot of loopholes. Another example is also the change of syllabus, wherein the government is scrapping important chapters and keeping others that only suit their narrative and their history. I wouldn't be surprised if they start teaching Savarkar instead of Gandhi soon. But I hope that with the new education policy, we will at least rise above Pakistan in the academic freedom index. Because ranking lower than a country which shoots people in the head for going to school should be a wake up call for any nation. Ironically, the BJP government pays more attention and drafts a more detailed paperwork like a 1200-page sedition charge on Kanhaiya Kumar than it does on its nationwide policies. But hey, folks, that's the new India where we live in today, wherein nationalism and religion are the only issues that matter. You're welcome to stay here and support everything that the BJP does, or you can leave the country, you anti national. Things haven't been going well in this nation for either the economy or the civilians or the local governments. Buying Supreme Court verdicts or buying MPs and MLAs like in Rajasthan recently has become so acceptable in this nation that sometimes it doesn't even carry any shock value. It doesn't even feel like it's newsworthy. I don't know what to expect from the future. However, in the only good news in a long time, Amit Shah and his left titty tested positive for the coronavirus. Now, I'm not saying that I wish ill upon the Home Minister of India, but I'm just saying that if there is a God, now would be a great time to prove it. Peace.